gives us the Vedic understanding of uh, what is this theory of evolution. The Darwin's theory, we are familiar with our school day, from our school days onwards, how evolution happened, etc., etc. Whatever it is. So here in the chapter, we are going to understand that from Vedic point of view. Chapter 10, chapter 12, chapter 20. These three chapters are what Brahma did, how Brahma created this, all the living entities in this material world. Three chapters are going to elaborate on the subject matter very nicely. If we understand these chapters nicely, many of our spiritual conceptions have strong foundation. All these things will act as a strong foundation. So in that way. Vidura uvacha antarihite bhagavati brahma lokapitamaha praja sasarja katida daihikir manasir vibhu.
Sri Vidura says, "O great sage, please let me know how Brahma, the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after the disappearance of Supreme Personality of God."
Yeah. So here Vidura is asking question to Maitreya. Please tell me, how did Brahma created all the living entities? Because he performed tapasya and he did everything and he had darshan, he prayed to Lord only for this purpose. He wanted to create the living entities. And now I want to know, after the discussion of Supreme Lord, how did Brahma created all the living entities from his body, Dehikir, and Manasir from his mind. So kindly remember these two, we are going to discuss them elaborately in the future classes. What all comes from his body, what all comes from his mind. We'll understand both are happening one after the other. With mind something he creates, with body something he creates, like that. Echa me Bhagavan Sprushta Tvayartha Bahuvittama Tan Vadeswanupurvena Chindina Sarva Samshayan.
O greatly learned one, kindly eradicate all my doubts and let me know of all that I have inquired from you from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. So not only this question, and kindly remember that I have asked you so many questions in the previous chapter. Which chapter my Vedura asked so many questions? In which chapter Vidura asked so many questions to Maitreya?
Chapter 7.
Chapter 7 only, not chapter 8.
Yeah.
Second canto in chapter 8, Parikshit Maharaj asked questions. Third canto in chapter 7, Vidura asked questions. I am just trying to find out whether you still remember. So, remembering all these questions and also this question currently which I am asking, kindly answer all my questions. Chindina Sarva Samshaya, please remove all my doubts by answering them nicely altogether. Suta Uvacha. Evam Sanchoditastena Kshatra Kaushara Virmuni Prita Pratyahatan Prashnan Hridistan Nata Bhargava.
Sutta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, the great sage Maitreya Muni, thus hearing from Vidura, felt very much enlivened. Everything was in his heart, and thus he began to reply to the questions one after another.
So, Sutta Goswami told that, no, my dear Vidura, don't worry that I have not forgotten. I do remember all your queries, and I also understand what you want to know based on the current query. So I will answer to you all your questions, whatever questions you have, I will answer everything. Don't worry. So, Malab, just by looking at the facial expressions, Sutta Goswami is kind of telling, okay, this is what is happening between them. So, like that, it is continuing. So now, next, the discussion starts between Maitreya and Vidura. Maitreya uvacha virinchopi tata chakre divyam varsha shatam tapa atmani atmanamavishya yata bhagavan aja. Yataha Bhagavan Aja.
The greatly learned sage Maitreya said, O Vidura, Brahma thus engaged himself in penances for 100 celestial years, as advised by the personality of Godhead, and applied himself in devotional service to the Lord.
Okay. See, the last line it says that Yata Aha Bhagavan Naja. The unborn Supreme Personality of Godhead had already told to Brahma that please perform tapasya, by which you can develop the knowledge, you can develop empowerment, and you can do the needful. Everything will be revealed to you within the heart. This was mentioned by Lord in the 30th verse of the previous chapter, 3930, wherein Lord said that Bhuyastvam tapa attishta vidyam chaiva madashrayam. Perform tapasya and perform bhakti by taking shelter of my lotus feet. Then what happens? Tabhyam antar hrudi brahman. Two things will appear within your heart. What are the two things? The knowledge necessary to do whatever you want to do, and the information about what you are supposed to do, the end product. So both will be revealed to you within your heart. Lokan drakshati apavrutam. The entire loka and all the living entities will be revealed, will be shown to you within your heart. So with that understanding, Yataha Bhagavan Naja, having told by the Lord what to do and all, following the instructions of Supreme Lord, Virin Chopi Tata Chakre, Divyam Varsha Shatam Tapa. He performed austerities for 100 celestial years. This Divyam Varsha Shatam refers to Divya Varsha. These are not ordinary human years, but instead Devata years. Previous chapter, in the 8th chapter, when Brahmaji was endeavoring to understand the root of the lotus, he tried for 100 human years. Then again he performed 100 human years of tapasya. But now he is performing 100 celestial years. That is equal to 360 hundreds. 36,000 years he performed tapasya. Not 1 day, 2 day. Even though Lord says that perform tapasya along with bhakti so that you will get buddhi yoga, you will be revealed everything. So for Brahma, he has to perform tapasya for 36,000 human years. So we also need to endeavor that much time. Somewhat like that. No. According to our, he performed 36,000 years. 100 Devata years. For Devatas, their 1 year is equal to our 360 years. Our 1 full year is one day for them. So Divya Varshatam refers to Divya Varsha means Devata years. So for 100 Devata years he performed tapasya, that is equal to 360 into 100 years of Devatas. 36,000 human years he performed tapasya. Then everything will be revealed to him. Similarly, we also have to work hard. Our working hard means we also do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasan, Saki, Matunidanam for so many years, so many lifetimes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that means Brahmaji performed tapasya totally 3 times in this day.
2 times, na? First, he wanted to find out the route. He traveled all over the stem of the lotus.
That time 100 human years he performed tapasya. After that,
that is not tapasya. That is just hard work, endeavor. Then he performed. Then he came back to the lotus and performed tapasya for 100 years.
That's what I'm referring. Yeah.
100 years tapasya then, and now 36,000 years second time.
Okay.
See here, Prabhuji is asking why 36,000. Here the sloka says that Divya Varsha Shatam, 100 Devata years. Divya Varsha means Devata years. 1 Devata year is equal to our 360 years. Why? Because our 1 complete year is equal to their 1 complete day. Our 6 months is their daytime, our 6 months is night time. April to October is their daytime. October to April is their night time. So same calculation. Our 1 year is 1 day, their 1 year is equal to 360 days. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, kindly mute whoever it is. So it is like that. So following the instruction of the Supreme Lord, he performed tapasya for 100 celestial years. Then what happened? Tadvilokabja sambhuto vayunayad adhishtita padma ambasta tatkala kritavirye na kampitam.
Thereafter, Brahma saw that both the lotuses on which he was situated and the water on which the lotus was growing were trembling due to a strong, violent wind.
Yeah. So now, after 100 celestial years of tapasya, something is revealed within his heart. But what is revealed within his heart, we don't know. But even when he opened his eyes, he saw something. What he saw? He saw the water, which is turbulent, and he saw the lotus, which is also turbulent. From when? From the time of the previous annihilation. Yesterday evening of Brahma, there was annihilation. So at that time, the entire universe was flooded with water. So from then, the water is turbulent, and the wind is turbulent. And now, just now, the lotus came out of the water. Because of the turbulent wind, turbulent water, the lotus is also turbulent. And this is what Brahma saw in front of him. So what? Tapasahi edamanena vidyaya chatma samstaya vivruddha vijnana balo nyapad vayuna vayum sahambasa.
Long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization had matured Brahma in practical knowledge, and thus he drank the wind completely along with the water.
See, he saw something, but he already understood. Everything is already revealed within his heart. What he is supposed to do and how he is supposed to do and where he is supposed to go about. Finally, with that understanding that is mentioned here, Vivruddha Vijnana Bala, with the strength of the proper understanding of what is to be done and how it should be done. He had the understanding of these two things. What should be done and how it should be done. That is his strength. He knows what should be done. So he is confident. So with that confidence and with the empowerment that he received by the performance of tapasya, which he performed for 100 celestial years. Tapasahi edamanena. Long tapasya. He performed tapasya for 36,000 years, not one day, 2 days. And then Vidya Chatma Samstaya. With that bhakti, which he performed for the time, and whatever empowerment he had got, and whatever strength he had got with that knowledge, whatever empowerment he had got from that bhakti and tapasya, what he did? Nepad Vayum Sahambasa. He accepted, he drank that turbulent wind and the turbulent water. Then the entire atmosphere became peaceful. Then he can start his activity. If the entire surroundings are highly disturbing, person cannot concentrate and do any activity. So now Brahmaji has become powerful and knowledgeable. So he could do whatever he could. Again, water is mentioned in the chapter. So first of all, he drank the water and he drank the air. Basically, not the entire water, but whatever water is on the surface which is turbulent and whatever air is there which is causing all the turbulence. He drank both of them. So like that. Lord Brahma's struggle for existence is a personal example of the continued fight between the living entity in the material world and the illusory energy called Maya. Beginning from Brahma down to this age, the living entities are struggling with the forces of material nature. By advanced knowledge in science and transcendental realization, one can try to control the material energy which works against our endeavors. And in the modern age, advanced material scientific knowledge and penance have played very wonderful roles in controlling the powers of the material energy. So from the point of view of our existence, Prabhupada is telling that by performing tapasya, here tapasya is following 4 regulative principles, and Vidya refers to by performing the 9-fold bhakti. We are also empowered to protect ourselves from the influence of Maya. Maya is constantly bewildering us by just like the turbulent wind and turbulent water. So we can protect ourselves from that such kind of influences. These are possible by our following the regular principles and performance of Navavidha Bhakti. In that way, Prabhupada is drawing parallels with our sadhana and Brahma. तद्विलोक्य यद्व्यापि पुष्करं यद् अधिष्ठितम् अनेना लोकान् प्राग्लिङ्गान् कल्पितास्मीति अचिन्तयत्.
Thereafter he saw that the lotus on which he was situated was spread throughout the universe, and he contemplated how to create all the planets, which were previously merged in that very same lotus.
Yeah, so here it is kind of mentioned. Now we saw the lotus standing still because he already drank the wind and water. So with the lotus which is growing all the way up to the top of the universe, and this verse says that Anena Lokan Praglingan. Within his heart, Lord already revealed that how it was situated in the previous day, how the 14 planet systems were situated, who were living in which planet system, everything was revealed within his heart. Now with that understanding, he had come to proper necessary action plan, what should be done step by step. So with that understanding, now he is going to do the most important activity. What is that? Padmakosham tadavishya bhagavat karma chodita evam vyabhangshit uruda trida bhavyam disattada.
Thus engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Brahma entered into the role of the lotus, and as it spread all over the universe, he divided it into 3 divisions of worlds and later into 14 divisions.
Yeah. So here the verse says that what Brahmaji did. So screen. क्या हो गया? Introduction. So you are able to see the slides? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
No,
Prabhuji.
Yeah. So
No, Prabhuji,
this.
I'm not able to see the slide.
No, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I'm not able to see the slide. Oh, Acha, you have some names here? No, we are not.
Slides.
I'm not able to see the slide. No.
So, someone able to see the slides? Or no one able to see?
Slides means we are able to see the screen share screen, Prabhuji, where the list is all Bhagavad cosmology introduction and all that list is there.
No, not that. Okay. Yeah, I'm share. Oh, it's not coming only.
You open the file and then share.
File open है इधर. बाजू में open है.
You open the file, it is your projected file.
It's open only.
So,
This is not coming to me. Microsoft Whiteboard. Presentation BV class today. I just selected.
scroll down.
It comes. Previously it used to come. Nicely.
Last time also it came.
Whiteboard में.
This right. Something right now. Below.
Okay.
Close it and open it. We don't need whiteboard. No, why do you need whiteboard?
I just tried selecting.
No. That's over done. You close it and you don't continue.
Sorry.
So you open and close it again.
Which one?
The PPT.
Now it is whiteboard में दिखा रहा है. Whiteboard को कैसे कैंसिल करना?
नहीं अभी शेयर करो ना तभी दिखेगा वो. व्हाइटबोर्ड कैंसिल हो गया. अब छोड़ दो उसको. नीचे स्क्रॉल करो.
नहीं यार.
क्यों दिया है? Try going to the Explorer only. No, it should work.
So now you are able to see.
No, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji, no.
Okay, it's okay. Forget it. So I thought of showing some animation. Fine. Okay. Okay. So it is said that. So having engaged in the austerities, Brahma understood everything what he is supposed to do and how to do. So with that understanding, now what he did, Padma Kosham Tadavishya Bhagavat Karma Chodita. Being inspired by the activity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahmaji entered into the stem of the lotus. And he divided that lotus into 3 divisions. Trida, Uruda, Trija. The great lotus has been divided into 3 divisions, which are named as Bhuloka, Bhurloka and Sargaloka. But he was not happy with the 3 divisions. 3 divisions means only 3 category of living entities. But he was not happy with only 3 variety of living entities. Then he divided that into Dvi Saptada, 2 times 7. He divided into 14 planetary systems. Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Sargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka above. And Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Taratala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Mahatala, Patal, 7 lower planets below. So he basically created 14 planetary systems so that at least 14 variety of living entities can be created and they can be placed at 14 different places. So that some segregation is there among them. This was the idea of Brahmaji. First he divided the lotus into 3 divisions. Then those 3 divisions further divided into 14 divisions. So that's how he kind of created the places, the location for the residence for all the variety of living entities. So sometimes these 14 also can be called as 3. When it is said that Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Sargaloka, Bhuloka also include the 7 lower planets. So Bhuloka means total 8. Bhuloka, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatal, Ratatal, Mandal, Patal. And Bhurloka means Bhurloka. And Sargaloka includes Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Sometimes these 4 planetary systems are included in Sargaloka. Sometimes they are not included. Because the jurisdiction of Indra, it is only up to Sargaloka. Indra do not have any control over Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. So those 4 upper planets are not part of 3 planetary systems from that point of view. So that is how it is understood generally. So is Mataji clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, to large extent. So Bhuvarlok is only alone. Baki Bhulok mein 7 lower planetary system and Bhulok that is 8 and Bhuvarlok is alone that is 9 and the remaining 5 are included in Swarloka. But
sometimes
still,
they are included, sometimes they are not. Not necessarily they are always included.
Okay, but even if they are included, the upper 3 planetary system, Indra doesn't have any control over it.
Upper 4.
Okay, upper 4. Okay, fine.
एतावान् जीवलोकस्य संस्थाभेदं समाहृता धर्मस्य हि अनिमित्तस्य Vipaka Parameshtyasau.
Lord Brahma is the most exalted personality in the universe because of his causeless devotional service unto the Lord in mature transcendental knowledge. He therefore created all the 14 planetary divisions for inhabitation by the different types of living entities.
Yeah. Etavan Jiva Lokasya Samstha Bedam Samahrita. So this particular activity of creating various locations in the form of 14 planetary systems and also the creation of various living entities has been given to Lord Brahma. Why? Dharmasya hi animittasya. Lord Brahma performed tapasya and also bhakti without any selfish material motives. Animittasya. He did not do all these things. He is not doing all these things, rather, for his own glory or for his own satisfaction or like that. He is doing all these things selflessly as a service to Supreme Lord. That's why the Supreme Lord chose Brahma to do this particular activity of creating 14 planetary systems and filling them with variety of living entities. So this indicates that when a person comes forward to render service unto the Supreme Lord selflessly, the Supreme Lord endeavors such kind of devotee in performing Herculean tasks. So that is the understanding. Now at this point of time, Vidura asks one more question. Vidura uvacha yatatta bahurupasya hareradbhuta karmana kalakyam lakshanam brahman yata varnayana prabho.
Vidura
Vidura inquired from Maitreya, O my lord, O greatly learned sage, kindly describe eternal time, which is another form of the Supreme Lord, the wonderful actor. What are the symptoms of that eternal time? Please describe them to us in detail.
So, because at many places he heard about Kala. Even in this chapter also he heard about Kala in the 5th verse. Tat Kala Krita Viryena Kampitam. By the potency of Lord's time factor, the lotus flower, the water and the air, they were turbulent. They were actually vibrating. I mean, having heard about time many places in the past also, now Vidura suddenly gets a inquisitiveness that I want to hear about time also. Please speak about time also. How time is explained. Kalakyam Lakshanam Brahman. My dear Brahmana, please tell about the qualities of time. What are the qualities? Yatata Bahurupasya Are Radbhuta Karmana. The time which has got many forms. And the time which has got many activities, many wonderful activities. Adbhuta Karmana, time has many rupas and time also has many activities, wonderful activities. So please speak about the qualities and activities and the form of the time also. So this is another query of Vidura. So this query is briefly answered here in the next 2-3 verses by Maitreya. And the next chapter, that is chapter 11, completely dedicates about the nature of time. The different divisions of time are explained in the 11th chapter. In order to answer this query of Vidura, Maitreya talks about one full chapter. But here, just to satisfy the inquisitiveness of Vidura, Maitreya speaks briefly in 2-3 verses. The nature, qualities and activities of time. Maitreya uvacha Gunavvetikarakaro nirvishesho pratishtita purushasthadupadanam atmanam leelaya srujat. Can read much.
Is the primal source of the interactions of the three modes of material nature. It is unchangeable and limitless, and it works as the instrument of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his pastimes in the material creation.
So here it talks about that. Guna Vetikarakaro. What is the form of time? How do I understand the nature and the form of time? Guna Vetikara. The transformation of the gunas Through the transformation of the gunas, we can understand the nature of time. Because if you remember, when Pradhana appeared from the skin pores of Mahavishnu, then Lord glanced upon Pradhana. Then the Pradhana, in which the three modes are in static condition, becomes dynamic. They are agitated. They are transformed and eventually produced 24 elements. And by their combination appeared the universe. And from them only appeared the lotus, and so many things happened eventually. So all this happening is because of time. The glance carries the time potency. By the interaction of time with three modes, everything is happening. So the form of time is the transformation of three modes in the form of 24 elements in the universe and the living entities and their activities and all those things. But in spite of causing so many things, time itself is nirvishesha. It itself has no attributes. It itself has no qualities to describe. Time is imperceivable. It has no form. But we can understand the existence of time by the transformation of things in front of our eyes. And apratishtita, it itself has no beginning and end. But it causes the beginning and end of everyone in this world. It itself causes the beginning and end of the world. But itself has no time, no beginning and end. These are the qualities of time. Nirvishesha. The quality of time is to have no quality. The another quality of time is having no beginning and end. But it's causing beginning and end of everything and everyone. Purushastad upadanam atmanam lilaya srujat. It becomes upadana. It becomes an instrument of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the matter of creating, maintaining, and annihilating this material universe as is pastime. Time is the instrument of Karmadakshaya Vishnu for creating, maintaining, and annihilating all the universes. This is the activity, Adbhuta Karma. The first line is about Rupa. The second line is about qualities, Lakshanam. The third and fourth lines are about Adbhuta Karma. What is the karma of time? It becomes an instrument of the Supreme Lord in the matter of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So briefly answers all the three things of the three questions of Vidura.
Prabhuji, in spiritual world, there is no time, concept of time.
It is said that time is conspicuous by its absence. Inconspicuous by its absence.
So that means in spiritual world, there is no day, night, evening, morning, nothing that concept is there, right?
Yeah, I think they are not there in the spiritual world.
Okay. So whatever we describe Ashtakaliya Leela of Krishna and all, that is only for the Bhauma Vrindavan, whatever happened.
See, one thing I'll tell you. Second canto, chapter 6, Lord Brahma told that we don't know what's happening in the spiritual world. We don't have any clue of the spiritual world. Whatever we know is only that much. Whenever you come into material world and perform activities, that much only we know. So how things are actually happening in the spiritual world, I also don't have any clue. But one thing my little understanding is, it is said that in the spiritual world, everything is Nitya Leela. The Leela is going on eternally. So one Leela is going on eternally. So which Leela is going on eternally, I don't know. But one is going on eternally, that means there is no time. There is no concept of morning, afternoon, evening. There is no concept of yesterday, today and tomorrow. Because Leela is going on eternally. It is Nitya Leela.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Here Rajavinasham Prabhu says that the all Ashtakaliya Leelas are going on every day. That is the understanding of Nitya Leela.
No, every day means, Prabhuji, Ashtakaliya Leela is divided, one day only is divided into 8 praharas, no? That Ashtakaliya Leela. Every day means, I didn't get what he is saying.
Even I also did not get, I also don't know. So Prabhuji is telling that, just like here we have day and night under the supervision of Mahamaya, in the spiritual world, the day night also happens under the supervision of Yogamaya. Yogamaya creates day and night, like the Prabhuji is saying. Yeah. In every day, same pastime happens with a different variety. Just like Srimati Radharani cooks every day with a different flavor and different food items. So in that way. So that is Nitya Leela. The same Leela is going on every day.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. No, I have to. One more verse is there, then we'll complete. Vishwam vai Brahma tanmatram samsthitam Vishwamayaya Ishwarena parichinnanam kalena vyakta murtina. Please, someone read the translation.
This cosmic manifestation is separated from the Supreme Lord as material energy by means of Kala, which is the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Lord. It is situated as the objective manifestation of the Lord under the influence of the same material energy of Vishnu.
So, by time potency, the Supreme Lord produces the unlimited number of material universes from Maya Shakti. And by time potency, he maintains them. By time potency, he annihilates them. But all these things we cannot understand how they are happening, but they are happening. So this is the function of time. This is how Lord engages time in his Leela, in his pastime. So that is understanding here. That's why it is said that Kalena Avyakta Murtina. He has an invisible form, Avyakta, unmanifest form. And that Kala, the Supreme Lord does everything in relation to the material world by empowering his Maya Shakti. What he does? Yetedanim tatagre cha paschadapi etadidrisham.
This cosmic manifestation is as it is now. It was the same in the past and it will continue in the same way in the future.
Yeah, by using time potency, the Supreme Lord is creating now the universe, but of course, based on the subject matter being discussed now, as it was created previously and as it will be created in the future. That means the material creation will go on eternally, and hence the material world also has existence eternally. Though it stays for some time and manifests sometimes, but it is there eternally. So Acharyas take this verse as a clue in order to refute the philosophy of Mayavad. The Mayavadis say that Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. They say that no, how can you say Jagan Mithya here? Things are happening. Now the creation is happening as it was yesterday. It is going to happen tomorrow also. How can you say it is Mithya? The creation is continuing on eternally. So this verse they take it as a reference to disprove the Mayavad philosophy. Creation exists always. So these are the 2-3 verses which our Brahma Maitreya Muni talking about the nature of time. And we'll stop here. From 14th verse, it talks about what Brahma is going to create. How this time will help the Supreme Lord in the matter of creation, maintenance, and relation that is being described in the future verses. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.